This button or that button
What about this button?
that you pressed 2 minutes ago?
No, that one just activates the cleaning robot. And now a Wookiee growled at it and is running away to hide. Thanks. Go back to flying casually.
The poor wee thing.
He's gonna go over and try to clean up all that big pile of dirt from that was put in the corner there after somebody tore off a bunch of doors. And stack the doors neatly against the wall because he wasn't a monster. Well, he is a monster, but not that kind of monster.
Anyway,
Anyway,
let Ellie start.
yes.
Let Ellie start.
The buttons are going.
So the button has been pressed. We're all ready to go.
Yep.
I'm excited for party times. I'm not. Who asked you?
Well, it's Friday, and you know what that means. It means I'm here with Beth, Crash, Io, and Jen, and the residents of the forest camp have packed up and headed back toward Roskilde, where they were assured they would be welcomed with open arms, even the ones who no longer had arms. As the non-adventuring group packed up their own gear and wrung the rain out of their tents, they heard a ding come from Devon's pocket and realized that the time anchor had finally recharged. With their hearts in their throats, not literally, the guy with his heart actually in his throat was on his way to Roskilde, they clicked the button on the anchor and found themselves in a broad plain, with the seeing well from the middle of the forest camp not far away on a raised stone platform, and several nearby copses of trees and bushes. Several members of the party decided that hiding in the trees was the better part of valor, but the others noticed that in the distance, up in the sky, was a floating island slowly cruising above the landscape. Still trepidatious, Devon used the well to contact the buildings on the island and got in touch with Beeble, a wizard in residence at what turned out to be a magic academy. Beeble was initially concerned that traveling wizards had been stranded in Tuwadi territory, and then alarmed when two dragons began fighting outside of the academy. He'd had time to set off the island-wide alarm and tell the group that he was on his way to his tower to the east, but then he cut the transmission. Then, the black dragon dodged the white dragon's breath instead of absorbing it, and the island and the academy crystallized over and began to fall to earth. The anchor has returned the group to the modern world, and after some grieving for the loss they just witnessed half a millennium in the past, the group discovered that they'd made a change. The book Devon had taken from the Wizard Tower now contained an additional passage at the end, addressed to the party. Since then, they've gathered their things and headed back to the vestiges of civilization to regroup, restock, and figure out what to do next. It's late autumn, and the snows are starting across the plain and forest, limiting the grass and leaves in white to the east and various bright colors in the wilds. The name of the place is Roskilde, the burgeoning village at the edge of the wild magic. This is Plus Ultra. So, what are you up to in Roskilde?
Breakfast?
Breakfast sounds like it would probably be a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay. You can head over and get some breakfast.
Okay. Where would breakfast be?
Because I'm
Over
not
at the
going
fire
to,
on the western side of the camp.
Okay. Yep.
because I'm not going to remember about it otherwise. I'm just mentioning it now that there was a uncomfortably long silence after breakfast, and Ellie agreeing that breakfast sounds like a good idea, where nobody said anything.
Well, this is meant to be a player-driven campaign.
Yes.
Yeah.
My laughter is
The
because
fact that all of the players are absolutely refusing to be at the wheel is a little concerning, but we make do.
What? There's a wheel?
Beth, you're muted. Beth, you're muted. Is that intentional?
No, I was just saying you ain't giving us a wheel, GM. How can we be at the wheel if you ain't giving us one? No, I have
given you so many wheels.
Why can't we
No,
hold
it's
all
a
these wheels?
clicky thing, and it looks like a butterfly. In any case, I have a suggestion, which is one: we should probably go back and see that place where Devon's book came from, if there's any changes there. And two, we might want to go looking for any sign of, well, where it fell. Thing I'm not talking about.
Yes. Yes, I think that we should set out in search of it.
I think we should go back to where that library was and see if anything changed there.
So
We can do that first. I do think it's notable that the anchor recharged while we were in the wild magic, though.
Yes, we'll have to take it back.
we take it back to the town we bought it in. The innkeeper says, no refunds.
No, 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 no,
It
not
lost
that kind
half
of
its
take back.
value after you took it off the lot.
Well, of course it did. That's how these things work.
Do you have any idea how many temporal miles you have racked up on this thing? 2,000 years so far, which is technically accurate. Anyway, so this is not necessarily a question for the GM, but it's something that old Rob would have talked to Devin about, because Devin's got the Atlas, and when everyone came back to the future and we saw the DeLorean driving away, old Rob tried to make a point of facing the direction, like getting a heading of where the flying city had been, and then would have taken a moment after he bawled his eyes out. It was allergies, probably. It's fine. To talk to Devin about, possibly making some type of notation about, we might not know the distance, but we know the heading for where the flying city, what direction the flying city was in, which would give us some kind of clue.
Can I roll navigation land about that?
Sure. Let's say difficulty DC 2, so beat the 6. And that's DC 2 before you ease it by 1 by the skill.
In that case, I'm going to auto pass, but I will roll to see if I crit.
I love that. One, roll to see if I crit could be two different kinds of crits. It could go in either direction, and you have split the difference down the middle.
And therefore not crit.
The dice said, not today. You get a 10, and you get a 10.
Yes, you not only can determine the heading on the Atlas, but you remember seeing something gleaming off in the distance as you were at the top of that cliff.
Oh.
That would be
Excellent.
in roughly the place where the Academy would have gone down.
I totally forgot about our large friends that were not scary at all.
To be fair, I think that episode got eaten.
Oh, did that episode not work?
Yeah, I think that's the one that got eaten.
Oh, no.
There was an episode where it got half eaten.
But
there was a summary afterwards. Now, I don't think it was that one, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, we'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
Devin will mark down the suspected location where the flying city fell.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of flying cities that have not fallen at some point in their timeline, and I'm blank.
If it's a flying city, then the natural failure state of a flying city is generally to stop
not flying anymore.
Yeah, so you basically have two options. Option 1 is it crashes, and I suppose option 2 might be a stable orbit.
I mean, I brought a flying.
In theory, you could land it.
That's true. In theory, there might be a landed city.
What is a crash other than a rapidly descending landing?
More destructive.
Look, land means altitude reaches 0. Crash sometimes means altitude reaches a negative number.
And sometimes means the DM is running tomorrow.
That too. So we have a not long-term goal, but we have a goal listed of, hey, let's go toward that sparkling thing that is probably a ruined city that fell to the ground 500 years ago. We can check for survivors, but we also have a plan of, let's go to the tower and see if there's changes. One of those, I believe, is closer than the other one.
Uh-huh.
And we also know is full of books.
I think the tower's closer.
Actually, I would say the location of the city is probably closer. However, the location of the tower is along a road and not in the wild magic. So, yeah, it's probably a day and a half to get to the tower from here, and probably about the same to, well, also you'll have to figure out a way down the cliff. Yeah, travel time wise, you're about equidistant.
As the magpie flies, the city is closer. As the Caval walks, because who took their Converse sneakers of flying, the tower's closer. I would say old Rob would probably vote for the tower.
But the tower's back in the other direction.
I'd have something
so if
useful in it. I know what to look for.
It's possible.
Rope. We have to look for rope.
I mean, we are in a town right now. Yes, I might be using the term loosely, but whatever. We are in a tent city right now that caters towards adventurers. I suspect rope is available.
Yes,
it would be very easy to find rope.
Also, I strongly suspect, as in, this is my character, I know how he feels. Old Rob wants nothing to do with descending down a cliff. And if he can put it off for 3 days, because we walk back to the tower that we know is relatively safe, then he's going to vote for that.
Since if we're already about halfway there, it might be more efficient to investigate the fallen ruin first.
But we might be having to climb and stuff. All right, we better get ourselves some rope and make sure it's all knotted up, or a rope ladder or something, little tiny rope ladder. I mean, so at least have a place to put our feet.
Trust me, I am no more enthusiastic about climbing than either of you.
Maybe we can find a place around the side or something.
That might work.
I remember a story about people who needed to descend from a great height, and they tied some bed sheets together onto a backpack and jumped, and the air
Died
going past
horribly.
them filled the bed sheets, and it slowed their descent, so they only broke every bone in their legs.
Just looking. You cannot
Look.
see the level stare.
Look, I agree. It was a horrible idea. I'm not suggesting we try that. I'm suggesting we go in the direction where there isn't a cliff.
Old Rob's anecdote ability does give you a bonus to breaking all your legs.
Nope.
Ellie, I
You know.
award you one more Cypher System XP.
I provide a valuable service.
Yes, you do.
You're also GMing.
So help me, I will get the GM to tier 6 before the end of the campaign.
I have concerns.
I have none. Old Rob has many,
Mm-hmm.
which is why he's voting for Tower.
Okay.
But he's voting, which means he can be outvoted.
Mm-hmm.
Harrison votes for Tower on the grounds that there might be something magic there that would be helpful, like maybe it'll be able to float us down.
We can look. I could do some research. There might be some ancient spell for it.
Something that doesn't break all our legs.
Or any of our leg.
Mm-hmm.
They could make cities fly. Helping people get down a cliff is, well, I can hardly think that would be beyond their capabilities. It's simply a matter of what they wrote down and where.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it would be serendipitous if we arrived and just found a note saying, and here's a thing that lets you descend a cliff. It's portable stairs or whatever.
Well, mind
Unfortunately, none of us are a character with serendipity built into our character.
Didn't see that advantage in the book, so there.
Adelina's got 50 feet of rope.
Was the
If
cliff
we have to
50
climb.
feet or larger? I think it was
I don't
larger.
know.
I think you described it as larger.
Yes, it's about a quarter mile down
Okay.
at the point where you encountered it.
Okay.
So
Just a thought.
we need two 50-foot lengths. We tie them together. And when we get down to the second length, we untie the first length and tie it to the bottom.
I'm not talking to you people.
Old Rob is a little concerned that he and Karacinda are of like mind about where we should go. But he's taking her vote as, okay, we can pack up and head that way now.
All right.
Time to go start walking back to the library.
It would be neat if we had some type of device that would let us just, teleport there. Like some kind of traveling fast mechanism. Fast travel. That sounds horrible.
Be nice if
Well, we
had some way to.
only have the sort of anchor that goes through time.
We could call it
Nope.
map loading.
But why would you load the maps onto something? We need those.
In a cart. You could load them on a cart, and
Well,
if the cart didn't need a horse, then
I imagine you would
There's
need
not
a map
that
so you
many
would
of
be
them.
able to plan where you're going.
Right.
I mean, what
yes,
we
so
got
don't
is
load them into something.
we're promptly walking and debating this for what, 3 days
Oh.
or so?
yes. Imagine this conversation going on for 3 days. Well, 1.5. It's a day and a half walk to the tower. I said 3 days because round trip is 3 days.
Oh, okay.
Tromp. Back we go.
Mm-hmm.
As we arrive, look, I'm just saying that if we had some type of, temporal map, maybe our little clicky device would be more accurate for us to plan. Oh, we're here.
I don't know how to make a temporal map.
I imagine
That's-
Devin has made this exclamation multiple times over the day and a half.
We
This
have
has been
temporal
glossed
maps.
over.
They're called calendars.
That's
That
true.
too.
2 XP.
Anyway.
2 XP this evening. Anyway, we're here.
And we have
Thank goodness.
and we still have our little light source magic items that hopefully work as keys.
I just realized a thing.
What do you just realize?
What's on the ground floor of the tower?
A water talkie thing.
There needs to be
That's
a
what's
better
there.
name than that.
Magic well, actually.
I called them seeing wells.
Oh, right.
But use them for talking. It'd be a talking well.
Yeah, but you see who you're talking to.
Ooh, not very clearly. You hear them very clearly.
There's a magic well. There's clearly a magic well.
Well, that's what I realized. We got another one of these. And we didn't realize what it did last time we were here.
Drink some water from it, too. Yeah, it'll probably be fine.
I like how our characters are all on the map lined up behind Devin at the front door. Because we're all being too polite to just take our characters and go past.
Oh, wait.
Ooh, ground floor.
map?
No.
We want the first floor. That's got perfumery, stationery, and leather goods.
No, it doesn't.
Kudos to anyone who
Oh,
gets
right.
that reference.
I made this one really tiny so that Beth's computer wouldn't freak out.
My computer is now much less freaky.
So are you saying we need to adjust our appearance to scale? Because
Not necessarily.
I'm here for that.
Look at that.
I don't think that's quite.
I don't.
I do not
see
believe that is the scale.
him.
Also, I'm concerned that when I went to adjust my scale, it was
You're
already
under
at
the crate.
1.1.
You're already under. You're under the crate.
Crates?
Old Rob is under the bed made of crates.
Okay, that's interesting because to me it looks like we were sent back
Still
to
on
the
the
ground
exterior.
floor. Are you
Yeah.
seeing a
Oh,
different map than we
Yeah,
are?
I was on a different map and I clicked Wizard Tower exterior and now I don't have access to the other one. But until that moment I was still on the other one.
What an interesting... EO finds the cool bugs. Although my favorite is when Foundry was acting up and Longcap was able to go through walls. Because if you don't see the walls, you can go through them.
Yes, that was unfortunate.
That sign
Hilarious.
doesn't apply to me because I can't read Foundry maps.
I feel like physics should be able to apply to you whether you can read or not. And yet,
And
Well,
yet.
physics should be able to apply to you unless you have a skill in Arcana that's high enough. And Longcap. Anyway, old Rob has gone over to the well.
Okay.
I'm trying so hard to not do well puns.
Deep
I
subject.
am going to see if this works.
Beth, that
It may not.
Let me fix my token vision.
90%.
the map scale has
Ah!
changed. We have
Mhm.
altered the map scale. Pray we do not alter it further. Also, that no longer looks like a well. It looks like there's an arcane circle in the middle of it, though.
No, that didn't work. What do I need to set my
Oh, sure enough.
vision mode to? Advanced option?
Did you just put a green circle in the middle of the well before I could draw one?
It does appear so.
Hmm.
Okay, how do I make my token be able to see?
Tell your token to open their eyes.
Yeah. Okay,
Put on
vision
some
enabled.
bifocals.
That's okay. Vision enabled.
Can everybody else see?
I can see just fine. I do not have
I
vision
see
enabled
black.
checked. I just checked
Okay,
it
well,
anyway, though.
I should have my vision range able to see without light forever. So you
My
don't need
vision
to
range is 0
illuminate-
feet.
Okay, I'll try
Basic
0
vision.
again.
What an interesting problem you have. Welcome, everyone, to the Fighting with Foundry portion of the episode. Everyone get out your bingo card. What will the problem be? Will it be user error, Foundry bug, cipher system bug, or map setting bug? Vote now. Operators are not standing by. We don't have that kind of budget. I know. I'll help you out by casting some light. That did nothing.
I'm not surprised.
Well, I don't have any torches. There we go. I have a few regrets.
I don't. You don't seem to be glowing on my screen.
Or mine.
Ah!
Oh, that's a lot.
Because I hadn't
That's
pressed the
low.
button to enable it. Do you actually
And
see
now
things
everyone
now,
is
Beth?
pale, and it's still black. Everything is black.
I turned on a spotlight. It's the equivalent of the Christmas lights in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and it's still black for you, but you see everyone.
But everyone's
Okay.
washed out. I mean, I'm seeing
Rob,
everyone anyway, and I see
how
the
many
circle.
of those
blue
little
circle.
bright devices do you have?
A couple. 2, 3, 4.
Got some concerns.
And by 2, 3,
Well, obviously,
4,
I've just
old
got
Rob
something in
actually
my
means
eye, so
234.
you people move around. I've just got something in my eye. I'll just stand here till I get out.
Anyway, before you get to the tower, Devin, you can, and actually Adelina,
Mm-hmm.
you can sense that something is different about it. But it's not until it comes into sight that you realize what.
Is the roof there?
It's not collapsed anymore.
Oh, that's why it's different.
And in fact, it is nearly twice as tall as it was before. And considering that 4/5 of its height was this first floor previously,
Mm-hmm.
that's a considerable height.
How are we going to
I
get the
think
chimney
most
to
of
go all the way up
that-
from there?
I wonder if the
But-
signs that we were here will have changed because we were making a fire in the stairwell and putting it out again, and there's gonna be scorch marks there, but there should be scorch marks there.
Well, we wouldn't have done it that way if we were here when it was like that, but we would have been here.
Let's
And
go
we
in and see what we
remember
did.
doing that.
So I
Do
guess
you
we go
remember
in and see
doing
what we
something
did.
different?
No, we moved all those rocks and we I think do we, yes
the-
GM
That's
do we?
what the
Exactly.
players remember.
Yes. That is what the players remember.
Is it what the characters remember?
It is what the characters remember.
I'm beginning to dislike time travel. Oh wait, old Rob had gone over to the well to inspect it.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
Well, well, well.
What have we here?
The well
What's
is
the
surprisingly
fraction?
exactly as you remember it.
Slightly dusty water at the bottom, although we did disturb it enough, it may be less so.
Yes.
Hey, Devin, how'd you get this thing to work?
You focus yourself on it and on another well you know of.
Try looking for the one that's in the city, the fallen city.
I'm going to try to focus on the one that was in the encampment in the woods, surrounded by wild magic.
Okay. After a moment, the water gets very still and you hear the sounds of the woods.
Oh, that's soothing.
Old Rob records 10 hours of this and puts it on YouTube.
There's occasional screaming birds, because of course there are.
That's going to get even more views on YouTube.
I already have a screaming bird. You know?
Screaming Birds is the sound of my new nature punk rock band,
There you go.
Druid Punk.
Beth is reloading.
Nope, still black.
Well, as this is what happened with a map that was too big or too complex last time, I will assume that that is still the case.
I can see the doors.
Well, that's good.
But it's
I'll
the
think-
graphic that's too large.
It's the graphic that's too large.
Which computer are you on, Beth?
I'm not in a Chrome browser. Give me half a moment and I can.
Are you on the one of your Mac?
Of course, I'm on one of my Macs. That's where I've got all my good stuff.
So
gonna try the
you're
Chrome
using one of the
browser.
computers that's older than any of my students.
No, I am not. I'm using a fairly new one. It's actually what's this?
Keep in mind, I do teach at a K-8 academy. Older than my students is
Isn't
not a
saying
very
much.
high bar.
Yeah, no, this one is actually fairly new because the one that was a bit older but also really ancient one died horribly. So
Buried out the back next to the ocarina. Or buried out back next to where the ocarina had been buried.
there's no ocarina buried out back.
Anymore.
Okay, I think I'm logged in. I have to log out here. How do I log myself out? Use
All right, voting's done. If you didn't pick Beth's computer is older than time itself, you didn't win this round. But thank you for playing. Better luck
So
next
it's not
time.
older than time itself. This is
It's older
not
than
an
my
old
watch,
one.
therefore,
How old is your watch?
a couple years.
Yeah, this one is younger than that. All right. Shoot, Firefox. Go on. Just ignore me. I'm going to figure something out here.
Got to rifle through all the AARP notices that were sent to your computer.
It's not that old. It's the new one.
I say that having built up a computer lab for my students that has computers from 2010 and 2012 in it.
Oh
Ha.
my.
Yeah. So, well, they're rather inexpensive. You get a desktop that's old, it's still going to be able to edit video if it has a decent amount of RAM in it. Okay, well, old Rob has confirmed that this thing can do a thing.
Yes.
So he's going to...
It likes.
Also, old Rob has confirmed that he can use it. Now, this might be because old Rob has some type of magical ability, considering he can see the unseen and see through matter. One could argue that is true. Old Rob, however, will deny these things, and therefore assume that this means that even a layperson can use the well. He might still be right, but for the wrong reasons.
Adelina and Devin, as you come up the stairs,
Mhm.
oh, good, Chrome works.
Microsoft Edge works.
Edge works.
It's a Chrome.
The
base.
Chromium browser works.
Yep.
As you come up the stairs, the suits of armor at the top turn their heads to look at you.
They didn't do that before.
Adelina, the one looking at you,
Mm-hmm.
turns back and sort of stamps its foot and returns to stillness. Devin, the one looking at you, looks a little longer and then nods and returns to standing still.
Didn't Adelina wind up with one of their weapons? We swiped a hammer or something from them back when they weren't doing this.
Right. I don't remember.
Possible. I don't remember either.
Okay. Well, so we have what we have then, and we'll go from there.
Yes.
Yes. Mhm.
Hmm.
Can the pair of you hear me?
They make no response.
Do they do anything when I go up the stairs?
No.
Just us then.
I'm trekking up. Trek.
And now I'm wondering what would have happened if we'd taken something from the suits of armor.
I think we did.
Beth says we did. You did.
Yes.
What did you
And
take?
gave it to Adelina.
That's entirely possible.
A warhammer.
Adelina just collected weapons.
Yeah.
A warhammer is not listed under your weapon. Iron longsword is listed,
It's
Oh,
okay.
yeah. Iron longsword. Yeah, she's got that one.
but that's from the Mushroom Kingdom, which is
Yeah.
not what it
Mhm.
was called.
No, but she does have that.
It was a hammer.
Also has
Although-
armor.
You did make a giant turtle monster fall into lava.
I don't remember that either.
3 XP. What's this?
Yeah,
From
the suits don't respond
Nintendo.
further.
Okay.
All right. Well, old Rob's going to nod at them, tip his hat, possibly toss away the bit of the brim that comes off when he attempts to tip his hat, and head up the stairs.
Oh. Okay. Did
Yes,
both
that's
of
open.
these suits of armor do the same stamp?
No.
Okay.
The one closest to you looked at
Mhm.
you,
Mhm.
nodded, and stamped its foot before
Okay.
returning to its. And it wasn't an upset stamping its foot. It was very much a coming to attention.
Okay. Good.
The other
The one that
just-
was closer to Devon peered at Devon and then returned to its original position.
I think they like you.
Think they do.
Remember, you were the only one who could touch the thing without it going prickle horrible zap. You're the one who opened the door first.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to take a close look at the one I'm standing next to and see if it's got cracked armor or anything maybe I can help with.
Okay.
Mhm.
I wonder.
I need to check something real quick.
I wouldn't want to presume with so little information, but do you think you might be related to the wizard who built this tower?
Oh, I never thought of that.
Was he a Felta or was he something smaller? For a very small Felta.
We never
That
actually.
Beeble was in fact a Felta. He was also short for a Felta.
Oh, okay. I
Was
don't
his
know.
last
I mean,
name
maybe
Bronx?
it's.
No, that's my cousin. How'd you know that?
Blood box.
He's just this guy, you know?
Interesting thought that you might be a descendant. rightful
mean-
heir.
Could be, yeah, I guess. I don't remember these two moving the last time we were in here.
No, but the tower was kind of beat up last time we were in here, and you were the only one who could get in at first, presumably because you're related.
Guess I am.
Must be. Either that or you got more felt in you than I do.
Well, yeah.
Adelina, I've saved you the trouble of working through how to roll.
Thank you.
Um,
I appreciate that.
you have rolled a 7 against a target number of 3.
Okay.
So you can tell these guys they're 500 years old, but they've also been inside and undisturbed for that entire time.
Okay.
So unlike the weathered suits of armor, because there's, weather got in the ruined top, these guys have been entirely insulated from the outdoors. And nobody's apparently gotten in except you guys. So
Yeah.
they're a little dusty, or they shook the dust off when they moved.
Oh, okay, great.
But they're otherwise in excellent condition.
Okay. That's really neat. I want to take a look at the shield that the closest one is using. See if did they match the other one or not?
The shields, they are essentially identical.
Okay.
Um,
Make out
any
logos
cracks
or
on them
paint
or
on them
anything?
this time. Yeah.
It's spray insulation.
So,
They were
so
insulated.
when
with
Adelina
spray.
goes to take a look at the armor, like little bits of crumbly insulation just fall out.
Yeah.
You are now ankle deep in recycled newspaper bits.
Oh well.
Yeah, you can go up the stairs if you want.
Stairs
There
behind you
is-
two, or is that
Yeah.
stairs? Okay. Yeah, we could do that. Don't know why this one reacted to me, but maybe
Yes.
I am related to someone that built it or something. I'm not sure.
Seems most likely.
Hmm.
I think you can go up the stairs anyway. I don't know if you can actually fit through that door.
We'll find out.
Well, that worked.
Whoa. Oh, nifty. It's got portals.
Portals?
Yeah, if you go around the stairs the correct
You have to
way,
hit-
it'll move you to the
You have to hit just the right spot.
Okay, I'm trying.
uh
Wait, I think this
Is
is
the
down.
library in the same condition?
Go down twice. One more time.
Oh,
does
there we
look
go. Okay,
it.
there
This
we
is
are.
what Ellie wanted us to encounter the first time we came to the tower that we weren't able to do for reasons.
Okay.
Is the library... Sorry.
The library is in somewhat better condition. It is untidy, but in the way of a library that is in use or was in use when it was abandoned, rather than in the way of a library that has been exposed to the elements.
And one that we were trying to tidy it a bit ourselves, but
Yeah.
Are the changes we made, the books that we put up, still present, or
No, this is the library is
because we found like crates, like it was people were trying to move it, and that's where we found the way bread type stuff. The
there are still some of those here, but the organizational system is a little different. So different books are on the shelves. It is a library that's seen more. Yeah, this is not as you left it, but it is also
in better condition.
like you don't think anybody's been here since you left it.
All right, I'm gonna go see where we set the fire to do the cooking
Okay.
at this here set of stairs. Meanwhile, old Rob is doing something else. So
The stairs where you set the fire are still scorched from the fire.
gonna trace the smoke. If that door will open,
It should.
it should be an open door. Maybe can't click it.
Oh no, that's incorrectly constructed. Hang on just a second.
Okay,
We hear the sound of heavy machinery. There's a table
And
saw,
there's a door.
a drill, someone hammering.
Karacinda is going to go slowly up the stairs, tracing the pattern of where the smoke goes, because there'd be smoke up against the wall, presumably as well.
There's a little tracing of smoke up until roughly the level of the ceiling of the second floor.
And then it just vanishes.
Yes.
And then there's a whole new... I'm not breaking out into song.
Where did you wander off to? Oh, there. Okay.
The next
While
floor up.
everyone else is going upstairs, old Rob made a beeline to where we found Beeble's book the first time.
Yes. It is not there.
We do not
The
have
labels on the
keyboards.
shelves, however, are.
Ooh, the ones that had fallen off.
And faded.
Yes.
So let me get this right, because they're still there. Could be, yeah, they're still there on the floor where they fell 500 years ago.
No,
Or are they still on the shelf?
the labels have not been weathered off the shelves.
Because the tower didn't fall, so the elements weren't getting in.
Or because whatever crunched this tower didn't happen because it had a wizard in residence.
Old Rob is going to make a note of this to tell Devin, because Devin is possibly the only person that would be more excited about this than Old Rob.
Ellie, quick notation on the floor that we're on, the apparent door at the I have a door icon. I don't know if you want to do anything about that or if it's
The
boarded
apparent
up.
door where?
At the south of the location where all the PCs have gone.
This is
Look
true.
at me, I split the party.
Okay, just making sure that is... Oh, okay. The place that we've gone up is basically a small hallway with a lot off it that, because we can see through the walls on the map, lead to other rooms.
It's a circle inside a circle inside a circle. All of them are a faintly tinged grayish green stone. The green is a joke. They're gray stone.
There's the stairs. There's
This
a little
looks like
circle.
a kitchen.
It is a kitchen.
Wow.
Is it stocked?
Not well.
Does it
The
look like it's been stocked in the past 500 years?
no.
Is there magically preserved food?
Not that you can see, but there are a lot of crates.
And barrels? I found the barrels.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
This is either a washroom or a cistern, or a combination washroom cistern.
And that appears to be a wine, well, not a wine cellar.
It's an above ground wine cellar. It's the latest craze. Take your wine cellar and put it in the attic. Way more storage space in the basement.
It's a
for
bar.
Your pool table.
It's a tavern selling thing.
Ellie, what is the room I'm in right now?
It's water storage.
Ah. Is there actual water in here?
Yes.
Does it look
Not
fresh?
as much as there was, but there has been really nothing to contaminate it.
It hasn't all evaporated out somehow.
Yes.
Well, it's possible that there's a way of magically conjuring it. It's possible that there is a very mundane way of collecting rainwater.
Are there any pipes or anything in there to collect water?
Not that you can see, but you also can't see what's supplying the water to the wells. So
I like how I can see through things and see the unseen, and I still can't tell why kids love Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I mean, what's supplying water to the
Oh,
wells?
it keeps going up.
It does.
Got another floor
That-
up here. Devin,
That's
think
why
you're
I
gonna
yelled,
like
look,
it.
I split the party.
Think you're gonna like this, Devin.
Am I? Well, I suppose I'll look.
Well, here's the dining room.
Well, if you don't like exercise, you won't want to hear me say all the labels are still on the shelves 2 floors down.
I think let's give a quick look over on everything, and then we can get to inventorying our way back down.
Old Rob won't say it,
This
but
does
he's
look much
interested.
more civilized.
It does.
I like this place. Maybe we can live here.
Old Rob doesn't say it,
No, we
but
can't.
having told Devin, Old Rob is kind of interested in seeing Devin attempt to mitosis themselves.
I ain't
He is
stepping on
not-
that.
That kind of wizard.
So
He
there's
assumes that probably is a kind of wizard, but
You can make a character in Cypher System that can make a copy of themselves, and they can do things independently.
yes, you can.
has the weather been getting in this location? Because this looks like are those enclosed balconies?
this-
Or are they okay?
hang on just a second.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm having trouble with the interface.
I'm trying to figure out where Adelina is.
First floor.
Lower which
There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
teleport you?
Yeah.
Ellie has
That
shared
looks
with
like
us
a magic circle.
Ellie has shared with us a map that is large enough that we can hide from Ellie on the map.
Okay.
Even better if we change our scale.
Oh yeah.
That would be cruel.
Probably. Okay.
There we go.
No.
Oh.
While I'm facing that, go ahead and say what everyone else is doing.
I would
The-
like to invest. Sorry.
Answering Beth's question from 5 minutes ago. The smaller circle to the south is enclosed. The windows are glass, and the globes around it are globes. They're glass globes on pedestals. All of them are dark. The balcony to the north is a balcony, but the weather doesn't seem to be getting in. If you, in fact, if you stick your arm out across the edge of the balcony does have about a waist-high wall around the edge of it. If you stick your arm out across that, it is noticeably colder outside the balcony.
The magic's still working. Are these actual living bushes, potted plants inside to either side of the balcony here that are on the map, or are they
They probably used to be.
Dead.
They are quite dried up at this point.
the poor things.
Well, they're not meant to live half a millennium.
Good
Poor
point.
things.
These lights in this rounded space, are they on or off?
All of the circles in the southern where you are dark.
Okay, I'm gonna go touch one and see what happens.
Touch one. Yep. Good.
Oh, oh dear.
Watch
Old
out
Rob
for your
claps
fingerprints.
twice.
All right, I'll
Nothing
stop
happens.
investigating the magic circle on the floor over there and
So does this light turn on?
No, nothing happens.
investigate the
Nothing
sounds of touching things.
Wipe the fingerprints
What a
off.
quote.
Yeah.
Maybe you have
My
to
God, it's full of
think,
green circles.
make light. Hey, Devin, you're more magic, right? You can touch it too. You can think light up.
I will see if I can induce it to activate.
Nothing happens.
You know,
Do I have any idea what these might be for?
I'm afraid not.
Maybe they
this
light up
reminds
at night.
me of a story about a bunch of people who were exploring after their town got burned down, and they found a ruined wizard's tower that was full of all kinds. Old Rob is just going to tell everyone the story of themselves,
Yes.
but in the process, use anecdote so that hopefully we have an asset towards investigating this wizard tower.
Okay.
Yes. He is possibly accidentally reminding all of us what happened exactly the first time.
Which would be very
Well-
weird because he usually likes to embellish stories, but this time he doesn't.
While
No,
old
no,
Rob
no.
is telling his story,
Mhm.
why don't we take a 5-minute break?
Oh, good
Okay.
idea.
Oh, that sounds
All
like a
right.
good plan.
And that's what I said. Punchline.
It's true. He has said that before,
And he
and
will
it's just
say it
part of the
again.
story.
Mhm.
Old Rob is talking about a previous time where we came back from a break. Anyway, we're back, and Old Rob is going to pointedly not touch any of these orb things. Instead, he is going to lean forward, get his face as close as possible to one of them without touching, and just ponder it.
So he is pondering the orb.
Pondering the orb,
Yeah.
possibly using identify, or see the unseen, or see through matter.
Well, it's already see-through matter. It's glass.
Yeah, that's what it wants you to think. And possibly also using enthrall if necessary, but that's just sitting there on the maybe pile.
I will tell you that you're not going to get anything out of these by examining.
Old Rob continues to act like he's going to.
Fair enough.
Meanwhile, everyone else.
Let's see, where did
I
I
have
get-
found more books.
I'll go help with those. Except it won't let me. Nope, can't get in there.
Here you can. Gotta go through the door. T.
Okay. Go through the door. Okay.
Ta-da!
Yay.
Does this desk look as if it was left in the midst of writing something, or is that an artifact of the map?
It is less that it was left in the act of writing something, and more that there are papers and books left out on the desk.
I'm going to examine those.
Okay. They look like scholarly notes on the approach of the wild magic.
Interesting.
From what you can tell, it didn't happen all at once, but it happened very fast. What is taking years to undo took days to do.
Isn't that how it always goes?
Mm,
Breaking everything is always easier than fixing it again.
pretty
But the
much.
Academy would want to see this.
Yes, and who else might want to see it? We have to be careful.
I didn't say I was going to take it back to them now.
True enough.
Kind of makes you wonder, though. This
Huh?
tower was a ruin before we went back in time, and now it's not. What parts of time are changed? What parts aren't? The scorch marks are still downstairs. They're not up here. but they should be.
I mean, there shouldn't be scorch marks at all. I would have used the kitchen.
You would have, yes, but past you didn't. And those marks are still there.
Because, but
I suppose that time is linear, but in more directions than expected.
Look, if
Linear for
someone's
us,
retelling a story and they make a change to one part at the beginning, the rest of it has to change. Ellie says non-binary time. Time is a construct.
what we need to do is find somebody who didn't go back in time, but would have known that this here tower was here, and ask them how to describe it. Because didn't they tell us there were ruins off this? Or did we find the ruins? We found the ruins.
I'm sorry, I have to interject again because Ellie has only put this in chat, but tea time doubly so. This must be acknowledged for posterity, dagnabbit. I wonder if they'd know something or if they wouldn't. I mean, the old tower was lost. This tower
This one sticks up more.
sticks up more, would be more noticeable, but still seems locked, still seems abandoned for 500 years, even if it's together. Look, here's the thing. If I'm telling a story and I think of a spot at the beginning of the story, we're like, ooh, here's a different way to say it. I'm going to say it this way. Well, that changes something in the story. The rest of the story in my mind is still the same until I get to the parts that would have had to be different because what I changed in the beginning. Maybe us changing something in the past is changing the present, but all not right away. Maybe it takes time to seep through.
Well, it's had 500 years to seep through, hasn't it?
Well, in one manner of speaking, yes, but did it take us 500 years to get here?
No, probably not.
Are you saying that it's going to spread out from wherever we go?
Spread out from something, from everywhere all
wish
at
it's-
once?
Spread out so that we get our people back.
Alas, I don't think saving one wizard is going to get all of our friends back.
Then
Likely not.
we'll have to do more.
I was
We've
afraid
got
you were gonna
the
say that.
device still,
We do. And we know where to go to charge it up again.
assuming that that's what charged it up.
Well,
I suppose I could look for a user's manual for those things somewhere in here, but
there's a few more books than
that's
there used
for
to be.
the
Ellie.
indeed.
Actually, it charges because it's a pedometer. If you meet your step goal for the day, it goes bing.
It's probably not just the day. It's probably a lot of step goals. We have been stepping
Or
around.
actually, this does not seem to go up.
No, the next set of stairs is to the southeast.
See?
Oh,
They're around the outside of the tower now.
I have collided
Ah.
with multiple walls.
Yeah, I keep doing that too.
I'm
Moving
gonna
short
say that's
distances
probably
helps.
Also, if you aren't careful, there's a place where you can fall off the stairwell into the library again.
Oh no.
Yeah, I did it.
I did it too.
It's a
Hey,
one-way
Devin.
wall.
Found the fun place.
Oh, you know what? It's more than one spot because I did it again in a different location.
Oh, sure enough.
I'd say we
Right.
did.
Is that fireplace actually still running?
No.
Itty.
It's actually
Magic
painted
fireplace.
yellow and white and orange.
That looks like an enclosed one. Karacinda's just going to go up next set of stairs.
Devin is being attracted towards the glowy book thing over there on the left.
Why not?
Is anyone surprised?
Nope.
No.
This is my surprised face. It looks just like my normal face, but it is my surprised face.
Well, I guess we're going up.
I'm going up.
I'm going to the door.
I am looking at this.
I have
Is there a
found the
book on a
bathroom.
pedestal? Does it still look functional?
I mean, there's a tub. There's a wash basin. It likely doesn't have plumbing.
Yes, it does not have plumbing. Well,
It's magic plumbing.
not that you can see.
That looks like an actual latrine magic thing. Certainly there's a wash base. There's a wash tub.
Yes.
The pipes are all made of aluminum, so it's not plumbing. It's aluminum.
Someone really likes their books.
Wizard, old Rob says from the discovered bedroom. This is not a
Devin, the book is glowing. The words are surprisingly dark black and in a language you don't know.
Well, we're going to hold on to that
And
book
a
for another 10
language not
episodes.
contained within the Rosetta book.
That's correct. Yet another language.
Round.
Only someone had invented a spell to translate things.
This bedroom is horrid.
Hmm?
And I've slept on straw.
What's wrong with it?
Too open. I mean, yeah, the bed's up against a wall, so
Your back's to a wall so you can see everything, but it's just when you're inside, you should feel like you're inside. Everything here's too large for it.
I suppose it could use more bookshelves.
It's a
Arranged to make
very
small room out
dramatic
the
kind of
large
bed.
one. Yeah, I feel like someone would want to have a stage play happening on this floor so they could move around properly.
Karacinda is not saying a
Terrible
number of
when you were
things.
trying to sleep, though.
Karacinda is so not saying. There are so many things she is not saying about this bedroom.
Karacinda or Beth?
Yes.
So Adelina has moved over to this telescope-looking thing to see what she can see through it.
Which is on the next
Okay.
floor up. There's the observatory.
Oh, all right.
Old Rob goes over to the globe.
Ah, what's this thing?
Don't get fingerprints on it. Definitely will whack you.
Old Rob uses the hem of his bathrobe to spin the big circle thingy on the axis.
It's a light brown, it's a dark brown sphere. It's got lighter brown blotches on it.
Any markings on the blotches, or are they just blotches?
There are some markings. Devin could probably read them.
The player knows
Some
it's
of
the
them.
globe, but does
Yeah.
Old Rob know the world is round?
Possibly not.
Maybe never thought about it.
The world is a round disc on the back of 4 elephants that ride upon the back of a giant turtle.
That flies through space.
Everyone knows that. Also,
Until
so
about
help
50
me-
years ago, the world was a circle about 30 miles in diameter.
Yeah.
And so help me if this globe actually opens up to have a bunch of liquor hidden inside of it. Old Rob
It does
can
not.
see through
It's actually a
things.
globe.
Ah, it's hollow. I wonder what it is.
Inside
Hollow.
are a bunch of tiny little lizard people.
I was going to say, the Plus Ultra universe is on a hollow world. Confirmed. And a bunch of dragons flying around.
Do I have any idea what's going on with this thing?
Eased by 4 steps. Yes,
What's
you
the
recognize
key?
most of this. This is, judging by what you know, this is a circle to move something really fast to another place without damaging anything living that gets passed through it.
This
Well, I
is
was-
how people got here from the city.
Maybe how he left.
I was going to say it's like a trebuchet until you said the not damaging anything living part.
I wonder if we could use it. Well, I wonder if we could use it.
Old Rob steps onto it.
I'm not sure we should test it on one of us.
I don't think we should test it on one of us at all. No.
Well, go find a frog then.
How about we start
Nothing
with
happens.
the rock?
I'm assuming nothing happened because you let us continue with the banter.
No, nothing happens if you step on the circle. It's glowing, but it's not doing much else.
Yeah, and Old Rob had stepped on it. All right.
Indeed, I think it would likely require more interaction than just setting foot inside.
Don't you think I knew that?
Old Rob says he's going upstairs.
I'm not sure if you did.
You hear Old Rob laughing from the floor above you.
Devin is somewhat chasing after him.
Oh,
Adelina, that is a telescope.
okay.
What you see through it at the moment is the wall.
Oh,
Well, it's the ceiling, mostly.
ceiling? Okay.
The ceiling here is a dome.
Oh.
And it looks like there's a seam along the top, but there doesn't seem to be a mechanism to control it.
So it just looks at the ceiling then.
At the moment, yes.
Okay. And she'll move away from that for now. She's also very short, so someone taller might have a better way to use that.
Actually, I suspect it's much more likely to be sized for you.
For me? What makes you
Well,
think that?
this tower was owned by a Felta wizard.
Oh, okay. Well, are these papers on the ground connected to this or like,
Yeah, they seem they're notes.
okay. I'm going to pick up whatever note is on top and try to read it.
It seems to be tracking the motion of the stars.
Oh, wow. Interesting. It's tracking stars.
The circle with a glowing thing at the center of it next to the telescope
Mhm.
is an armillary sphere. It has a model of the sun in the middle, and then there are various celestial bodies on the rings, attached to the rings, and
Oh, neat.
it moves freely.
Well,
And-
the question I was about to ask is old Rob able to spin it?
Yes,
You can spin it. Go ahead.
the entire universe starts turning in circles. No.
We go back in time. 500. Oh my gosh, I just rolled a nat 20 to spin it.
Okay.
I spin it real good. This is the best.
You spin it
kids.
real good.
Somehow it ends up more accurate than before.
Yes. To the east is an orrery next to the desk, which is that model of the solar system. Hello. Hello.
Yep,
Hello.
yep. Everything okay?
And scattered around are various notes. To answer the question I anticipate being asked,
Mhm.
no, the bird nests aren't actually there.
Okay.
Now I'm looking for bird nest.
They're in the southeast.
Oh, okay. I was too busy being distracted by the shiny thing.
Fair.
There's a small kobold here who's right with me on this one.
Yeah.
You're not even supposed to be in this one.
Devin, all the books here are astronomy textbooks and individual leather-bound notebooks.
Fascinating. I mean, that tracks with what's here, but there's still fascinating books.
Did we find a bunch of astronomy books when we were investigating the ruined tower?
No,
Nope.
Okay. Because the thought process here is stuff from upstairs was brought downstairs before the tower fell. But the most important stuff was taken with whoever was evacuating, who we now know as Beeble. So if we didn't find any astronomy books, it's possible that that was a more primary interest and not a side hustle.
Karacinda, would you give me a roll at base difficulty class 2, and you can add your housekeeping?
I was wondering about that. Okay. Base difficulty 2. And it's adding the housekeeping at adding housekeeping or using housekeeping?
Using housekeeping.
If you have
Task eased.
mints-
Okay. Phone
If you have mints to
one,
put on
no,
pillows, does that count as an asset?
a mere 10. But that beats difficulty 3.
Yes. So Adelina and Karacinda, you both, this is addressing something that came up earlier.
Okay.
The stones that still have the soot on them from the fire down in the staircase below
Uh-huh.
are the ones that wouldn't have changed position between, like if you compared the ruined tower to the current tower,
Mhm.
those stones would be in the same place.
Oh.
Oh, the player figured that out. Well,
But
figured out
all
what
the new
hinting at.
all the quote, new ones, unquote,
Mm-hmm.
Does old
are-
Rob see soot-covered stones up here?
No,
nothing that fell in. Only the ones that would have been in the exact same place to get the soot on them, presumably.
from the perspective of the current tower, you did set a fire in the staircase, but it only affected the stones that were, time travel is hard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wibbly wobbly something something.
The stones that aren't where they were in the ruined tower now have never been exposed to the smoke.
Oh, wow.
Can I just say, it is a common bit of advice given to GMs to never incorporate time travel into the campaigns because of how it messes with things. Ellie, thank you for ignoring them entirely.
Yep.
Because this is making old Rob's head hurt. But the player is here for this.
Glad to hear it.
There are interesting puzzles afoot. Also, what is in this room now that we know that the bird nests are not?
Books on shelves and scattered on the floor. Cabinet that actually doesn't have anything in it. Long chest that also weirdly doesn't have anything in it. Metal grate that doesn't seem to be, like it's just lying on the floor.
Mm.
And a metal crate made out of some sort of dark metal.
That's valuable for us.
So people likely evacuated. I want to look and see if there's anything indicating where people might have evacuated to.
Okay. I am going to say you should roll research. And we'll call it a base difficulty 3.
All right.
That's only a 17.
It is. You since you reduced the difficulty to 0, apparently.
You get to do additional damage.
I
Yes.
spent 2 levels of effort.
Ah,
To be fair, one of those is a free level.
Yes.
You end up doing 1 point of damage to one additional point of damage to the books.
No!
Wait,
Oh no!
no.
Oh no!
you find notes scattered around indicating that he had, from what you can tell, the wild magic overtook the tower about a year after he left the academy.
Hmm.
Did he say what direction it came from?
It came from the west, the same direct, well, the north and the west, and the same direction it's receding into. And he had family, specifically several children, in Dunport. And so he decided to go there to wait out the wild magic. But he stayed here until it was about to overtake the tower.
Adelina, this is your great however much grandfather's tower, I bet.
I guess it could be.
Congratulations.
It's interesting. I didn't think I had a great grandfather or something
Well,
like that.
where else do you,
Yeah.
you think they got found under a cabbage patch or something?
I don't think so, but
I'd
Yeah,
have a
I don't know.
grandparent.
yeah, I wonder if my parents know more about him. I kind of miss them.
Yeah.
Patches are for
They were
Ugogs.
outside the
Belts
city,
come
though.
from storks. Everyone knows that.
Okay. Mhm.
This is
Oh my goodness.
something that old Rob just made up. He is not actually repeating any story he's heard.
No.
What, they fly in out of the out of the wild magic zone and drop off babies?
Only the blue ones.
The blue storks or the blue babies?
I said what I said.
Uh-huh. Because I assure you, I may have delivered a felter or two in my time, and I am not a stork.
Yep, you're definitely not a
Just-
stork.
Well, were they blue Pelta?
No.
I've
Story
never seen a
stands.
blue filter.
I wish that it was safe to return to the city. I'd like to know how the academy changed.
I don't suppose the academy has a pool.
Surprisingly, they don't.
Wait,
That we know of.
Stuck.
Devin, how
Hmm?
well are you familiar
Oh, there we go.
with your book of maps?
Fairly well.
Indulge me for a moment. Flip through and look for something that's changed. Anything that's different. You know, besides the paragraph at the back.
Yes. It did get bigger, didn't it?
It did. And what's at the
By
back
how
isn't enough to
much?
make it be bigger.
Well, depends on how thick your paper is, but...
People had another year to work on it.
Oh.
Yes. And he had been quite adamant that it was incomplete.
So what's
So, yes,
different?
I will check.
Okay. Most of it is the same as it was before. You have a fairly good picture. When I say picture, I don't mean a single image. I mean, like,
Mhm. Like an idea.
you can assemble a mental, yeah, exactly,
Mhm.
of a large landmass that stretches from a colder area in the north to a colder area in the south. The Dunport is at the very edge of a territory that is still marked as with characters that you don't recognize. I mean, you recognize them, but as the characters that were describing this area before. There is an X roughly where you placed the Fallen Academy, and there are additional notes on that page that indicate the tower and the other wells that you know about, as well as one other well off to the north.
We have to go over a cliff to go to the well of the north.
No.
Old Rob has something else to vote for besides the cliff.
At the end of the book, though, are signatures worth of new pages. Some of these are blank. Others are detailing the western side of that large landmass and how there's a land bridge to another large landmass. And lots of notes in Beeble's handwriting, wondering how the people there will be affected by the magic. But also lots of notes. You can put together the story that it's known that there are people in that direction, and that's about it. There is also a mention that I have to double check something. In the time that Beeble was paying attention, the sky and the grooves have disappeared. And there is a hint that to the southeast of Dunport, there is a large island, and he's speculating that that's where they might have gone.
That at least implies that it wasn't violent.
He also has made some notes that he has made. Oh, there's that word again. The one that's on the area where Dunport is to the far east of it. He has made contact and made friends with the nomadic that word who range around the tower.
Is that the word for the
Tuwati?
Yeah, them.
That seems likely, or at least that particular group of them.
Family name Tuwati. Not just Tuwati. Generic seems likely.
Well, you don't know that.
No, we don't, but it seems likely.
It's fun to
There's a
think about,
plausible-
though. Yep.
Well, he's taken great pains to write it in a different script.
Oh.
So it might be a different name, or it might be that he's just writing
Tuwati
the
in
word
their own
Tuwati
script.
in their own language.
Oh, it could be that. Yeah.
That'd be polite.
Anyway, you have the rest of the evening to. I mean, there's nobody else here. Nobody's going to bother you. Nobody else can get in.
Mm-hmm.
As far as
You don't have to block up the ceiling.
And make a meal in an actual kitchen.
You can make a meal in an actual kitchen. You can sit around an actual fireplace. One or two of you can sleep in an actual bed.
I can investigate all of these books.
dibs
I'll
on the
help you
couch.
carry 'em. I'll help you carry the books.
Are there any benches or anything that would make better bedding than laying out a bedroll or two bedrolls or something?
Yeah,
They're going to
well,
housekeep this place.
There's a giant banquet
You can-
table on that one floor.
yeah, and you can stick two of the benches together and
Yeah.
be at least not be sleeping on the floor.
You could sleep in the tub.
No, it's wet.
You could take a bath though.
That's
Does the
time
tub
for
have
everybody.
water in it? I assumed it was dry.
Well-
It'd be made to have water in it. Adelina, come see if you can make water come into the tub. Definitely. See if it's a
Okay.
magic tub.
Is it this tub?
I was cataloging books.
Devin, see if the tub's magic. Everybody here
All
needs
right,
a
all right.
I had a bath 3 months ago. I didn't need it then.
Fine, you can have a bath last.
Whoever has it first is the ringleader.
I am going to find a fish, and I don't care if it's 500 years old, and I'm going to smack you with it.
Well, check the tub. Old Rob is leaving the floor.
I'll catch you later. Don't think you can escape.
Old Rob
Between
has accidentally gone upstairs instead of down.
Yeah, that
between
happens.
Devin and Adelina,
Mm-hmm.
you can find that there is what looked like a nondescript metal panel on the wall above the tub. Actually, you can like push it in a bit and then swing it aside, and then a faucet comes out,
Okay.
and that will produce water that is hot enough to be pleasant without being too hot to be tolerated.
Okay.
And there is, in fact, a drain at the bottom of the tub that can be stoppered up.
Neat.
Aracinda is going to do housekeeping things, and later is going to, make some food and make sure everyone washes before bed, and is generally going to do quality of life bring things,
Okay, sounds good to me.
while telling other people to keep an eye out for spells that will let them fly gently down the cliff, magic ropes.
That's what I was trying to look for.
Good. And you're going to take a bath at some point too.
Yes.
And in the meantime, I'm cooking food.
The light from the outside gets dimmer and dimmer. The food is delicious. You all find places to sleep. And that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
Okay.
Whee!
Thank you, everyone, for playing. Thank you, everyone, for listening. My name is Ellie. Tonight, I have been joined by Beth, Crash, Io, and Jen. And I believe Beth has something to plug.
Io's mom writes books at elizabethmccoy.com, and you can ask your library to pick up some of the books because they're pretty cheap libraries, and the library got some in that. Anyway, that means that the library pays a amount, and I get some money, and that's good, friends, and you get to read a book for free, legally. And it's wonderful. And speaking of wonderful books,
My website is Book of Jen, and I've been putting a bunch of things on there lately. You can find it at bookofjen.net, or is it .com? I think it's .net. And I'm also the host of the Shattered Soulstone podcast. New episodes are supposed to go up every Saturday, but I'm going to give it a try again and make sure that happens this time around. And that's at shatteredsoulstone.com.
And speaking of websites,
Well, you can get all of these podcasts that we do at aaronbsmith.com/cogwheel. You can follow us on the Fediverse. It is aaronbsmith.com/@cogwheel. And you can support us on Patreon by going to patreon.com/cogwheelgaming and help us keep the lights on along with other illustrious patrons, including Ellie, Shen, Walter, Liv Droman, and patron emeritus Cindy.
and until next time, this is Ellie saying, so, how are my grandchildren doing? Good night, everybody.
Bye.